Hi, my name is Joe Myers and welcome back to my garage. Glad you could join us today. This is a continuation of my series, What It Takes to Fix a Car. And if you've watched any of my other video, you know that we're really talking about grooming and choosing the right technician to fix your car. So I started something the other day that I want to continue, which is discussing the certification problem. Before I dive into the problem, I have a thought for you. Have you ever gone to a new doctor or maybe a specialist and you know the time that you sit there in their office, maybe sitting on the examining table, waiting for them to come in, and your eyes scan the room and you see something hanging on the wall. Maybe it's a diploma, maybe it's some kind of a certificate, and oftentimes the thought comes to my mind, okay, what qualifies this doctor to treat the situation that I have come to him or her for? Well, the same thing is true with technicians. What qualifies your technician, whether you're a shop owner, service manager, or maybe you're a customer? What qualifies your technician to perform a brake job, to perform an alignment, to work on your suspension system? Now, I mention those things because each of those are tied back to safety and stability of the vehicle. So if a brake job is done incorrectly and you're in an emergency stop situation and the ABS doesn't work, or maybe the brakes do not stop you in the proper distance, it could cause you to go into an accident. So it's very important that we have the right individuals working on our vehicles. Now, part of the certification problem that we have today is over 80% of the technicians that are working on vehicles do not have a third-party certification. Now, let's explain that a little bit more. So a certificate is something that you could even get a certificate for watching this YouTube video, or you may get a certificate for attending a webinar, or you could print a certificate after completing an e-learning. However, there is no way of measuring just by watching something or observing something what that translates into as far as skill. Now, a step above that, and I would say it's a giant leap above that, is actually a manufacturer's certification. So for example, with me today, I have my plaque from Ford Motor Company. This was from when I was a Ford technician, and I was a chassis master technician. That was the first status that I acquired with Ford. And what it meant was that I had gone through a series of classes. I had completed several written assessments as well as performing hands-on skills assessments. One of the things that I will say about the Ford training that I took, and once again, I can't speak about it today. It's been many years since I have gone through Ford training. But what I will say about the Ford training that I went through many years ago, it was very thorough, and it required a hands-on skills assessment or demonstration for me. Many times those assessments were very difficult because they wanted to test what was my true ability. Now, that's a manufacturer certification, and it's good, but the problem that you have there is there's no third party or an independent person looking over the shoulder to see, well, do they really know, first of all, what they're doing? And number two, can they apply that knowledge? So that brings me to my next certification. I was recognized by ASE as an ASE Master level technician. ASE is a cognitive exam. Now, I support ASE in the fact that it is an excellent way to find out someone's cognitive abilities when given a certain problem on a vehicle, maybe understanding how a system works, but this is more from a global perspective. The problem that exists with ASC, or one of the problems, is that it does not truly evaluate your skill. There is a probability score that's baked in, but do you really feel comfortable in a probability score, or do you really want to know what someone's skill level is? I think we know the answer to that. How many watching this video have your driver's license? I do not know of any state that does not allow or does not require someone to not only take a written test, but also to do a driving test. Why? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'll once again share one of my personal stories. So this is going back probably about 35 years ago. I got my CDL. I went in, I took the test, I took a series of tests so that I had all of the endorsements. And there were several of the tests that I made a perfect score on the written part. But even though I had spent time behind the wheel of a semi-truck, it still took me 3 attempts to pass the driving part. Why? It's because I didn't truly have the skill necessary when I took the written part, even though it showed by all standards that I knew what I was doing. That brings us to another problem that I will address in the next video. I'm sure you won't want to miss it, but I'm going to address why do technicians struggle with passing a cognitive assessment such as ASC. Thank you. Have a good day. Watch for my next video coming up soon.